saw. Alright, you can tell by the large table, right? The blade on this machine is stuck down inside the table for safety. We only bring it up out of the machine when we want to make a cut. Alright? So, I want you to be able to see the whole table, so I'm going to remove some things so that you can see better. This right here is called the guard. And the guard is what keeps you from touching the blade. It tries to keep you from touching the blade. But we have to use this more than this, right? Okay. I'm going to take this off just so that you can see. This right here is called a fence. And you'll see in a second when I raise the blade up that the fence stays parallel with the blade. Alright, so this is the table saw. Let's see, it's a little dirty under there. This is a fantastic machine. Look how large it is. Look at what we could do with it. Okay, so this would be hard to replace because it has a nice cast iron table. You don't see too much of that anymore. Right now, the tables on table saws are more aluminum. Okay, this is heavy duty stuff. Now, to bring the blade out of the table, there's a wheel in the front. Okay, it raises and lowers the blade depending on which way you turn it. So I'm raising it out of the table. You can see the blade comes out of there. Okay, now, doesn't that look dangerous? Okay. It isn't really that dangerous. It all depends on what you're cutting. Alright? Now you can, if you look at this piece of wood, you can see grain in the wood, right? Mm-hmm. This machine really is set up for ripping wood. Ripping wood is cutting with the grain. If we were going to do a cross cut, which is cutting across the grain, we would use more of the radial arm saw, right over there. This is designed to cut or rip the material. So to be safe, we're going to only do like ripping style cuts on this table saw. If we're going to cross cut, we'll go to the radial arm saw. Now to do the ripping, let's say we're going to use this thickness of a piece of wood. I would set this machine up, and we have to lower the blade now, so that the blade only sticks out about 1/4 of an inch. That's all we need. We don't need any more. So if something did run across there, we wouldn't hurt ourselves, right? Look at it, I have my ring on. I guess I better take that off. Do I look ready now? If I was going to cut this piece of wood, let's say I was just going to shave the edge off, I would use my fence. Raise this bar up, bring it in, and I would set it up so that I'm only cutting what I need to. I'm going to lock it in place. Now what we can do is measure from the blade to the fence, and that's how wide our piece of wood would come out. Alright, now, would I go ahead and do it right now? The way it's set up right now? Is that how I would do it? No, what am I missing?
Guide.
The guide?
The guard.
The guard. This guard keeps me from touching that blade. Look at how much that blade is exposed. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, stick it back on here, so that you can see. This machine does have a guard. Whoop, too far. Alright, lock it in place. And it looks like I need to drop it down just a little bit. Maybe it's about right there. Now, doesn't that look a little safer? Okay. Now, if I were to take this piece of wood and push it through like this, look how close my hand is to the blade. See that? I don't like that. So we have another tool. Okay, right over here. This is called a push stick. And so we're going to use the push stick to push the piece of wood through the saw. Look how far away my hand is now from the blade. See that? This is going to keep us safe. This is a hand saver right here. This is worth every penny. Understand? Okay, so this is the table saw. The wheel on the side will actually take that blade, instead of it being straight up and down, it will tilt it so that we can cut an angle right here on this edge. It's actually kind of cool looking. It's called a bevel cut. All right. So let me quiz you now. You can stop.